All right, I hope you're well. And thank you very much for checking out this conversation with Bitlectro Labs about their next steps. You see, it was back in March this year of 2021 that I spoke to Keil, Gabriel, and Jason about Dreamloops Volume 1, a series of non-fungible tokens, otherwise known as NFTs. Skip forward several months, what a success that first batch was, and what is next for Bitlectro Labs. My name is John of whatwasthatradio.com, and What Was That Radio is a podcast, a 24/7 radio station. I'm live weekdays, by the way, between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific, an arts academy and community of Wuzzers. To find out more, I'd love you to go to whatwasthatradio.com. Transition to beginning of conversation. Okay, well, once again, I'm joined by the wonderful team at Bitlectro Labs, and who of Jason, Keil, and Gabriel wants to run with the torch and just go through how bonkers the last few months have been and where on earth this entire situation is at right now?
I'll run with it. I'll do a little intro. Yeah. So I'm Gabriel. Some of you have met me in previous interviews with John, perhaps. We're in our Discord server, but yeah, we launched Dreamloops, our first NFT project, back in June of this year, right around mid-June, June 13th. And here we are, rounding the corner on September, about to release our second, which took a little bit longer than we anticipated initially, but it's a larger collection, 15,000 assets, and we're airdropping some to our existing collector base. But it's been a whirlwind. We thought we'd get a little rest after the release of the first collection, because that was a massive development sprint, and then immediately we went back to 60-hour work weeks producing assets and building infrastructure and planning our marketing rollout and strategy and later roadmap, and all of that's just massively time consuming, but it's been a fun ride, and we're having a real fun time producing what we think is going to be a fun collection with a lot of nostalgia for the collector set that's been supporting us since day one.
And I don't think I properly grasped the magnitude of how much has gone into this and what was still to come with your efforts, because I didn't foresee, even the merch that you're wearing right now. That's not just a quick fix of putting all Keil's artwork together and slapping them on a shirt and sending them out in a package. There's so many more different entities and offshoots of this situation that were they planned initially, or were you all surprised by just the engagement you got in the first place that went, shit, I think we need, pardon my French, these next steps of the Dreamers and Bitlectro?
So interestingly enough, like we have this battle arena game that we're trying to build out of the Dreamers. And that's actually a byproduct of a project that I'd been scoping prior to the release of the Dreamloops even. And then I realized, oh, wow, we have this collector base. They're excited about retro nostalgia. There's components to this thing I want to build over here. We can find a way to integrate it with an existing user base and make something that's really cool and have an audience for it. So there are certain things we had scoped, certain things we hadn't. We certainly wanted to do more musical or generative music collections. And in fact, we have more that are scoped within our internal development timelines after the Dreamers come out. But the gaming component, some of the additional bells and whistles of this project, like the voxels, some come from things that I was already working on. Others come from ideas that the team had internally. Others came from just outreach and ideas that we had for the project moving forward. Like we started our metaverse party series in the lead up to the Dreamloops, and then realized, oh, there's an appetite for this, and no one's really doing it with the production quality that we're striving for. We actually teamed up with a group called Totescity that produces a great show called NFT Live on YouTube. They're helping us with the party series. They do great video production. And we're trying to really elevate those processes and those metaverse events as well. So part of the Dreamers collection is also a voxelized version of the avatar that people can hopefully utilize within our metaverse parties and the sandbox space once that project goes live. So it's morphed into a few things that at some point seem kind of disparate from an outsider view, but they're very much scoped with producing sort of a cohesive set of features and attributes to this whole project that I think our user base is really going to dig.
That has what's been fascinating in seeing, because there was a couple of cheeky souls that followed across from what was that in its infancy, very much so, into your infancy stage and then got involved in it. And I know that you all probably are familiar with Perch Life or Perch Electro.
I love Perch Life. It's some of the art he produces just blows my mind. and the mashups and the edits. That's a very talented individual.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, Keil, does that not make you nervous? Because for me, and this is my context behind my cheeky point here, Perch Life, Justin over in Ontario, has been incredible in supporting myself and broadcasting for 10 years plus. In the last year alone of what was that, he has sent so many graphics, so many ideas. They were talking about flipping calendars today that I'm like, oh my God, I ain't got the time for this. I would love to get to that. But Keil, how did you feel in seeing all these people come in and look at your artwork and go, we want more, we need more? How did you prepare for that? And did you plan on jumping into a next step so soon?
I did not. None of us really anticipated the response that we got from the Dreamloops drop, but obviously it was pretty exciting for everyone, myself included. But I immediately, as soon as we had the success with the first drop, I immediately started working on the next project because I was like, okay, that worked. Let's do some more. And yeah, I mean, it feels really good to have. I mean, our community is really great, and we've got a lot of really enthusiastic, cool people in there. And yeah, it's been super rewarding and really fun. And yeah, I'm excited about everything we've been doing.
Jason, I feel like we've got to go 1, 2, 3 here. How would you sum up the last few months?
It's been incredible, man. I think that it's just been overwhelming across the board, and you got to kind of take yourself out of it for a little bit and look at the big picture on it, because it's really easy to get kind of stuck in the rabbit hole of it all. But it's been incredible, and I think that seeing the community grow and shine and kind of use the music that they get the Creative Commons license to, and put that into other projects, and just see like other communities reaching out to us, projects that we're fans of as well. Man, I think that all really comes together also at like those crypto voxels parties, like our metaverse parties, because you see like groups from other communities all coming together, and there's multiple discords all lighting up that night talking about how cool this is. It feels like that there's, because it like drop day when we released the Dreamloops was just incredible. It was like the highest of high feeling I've ever felt. But and then to get like a taste of that every month when we do the metaverse parties is so sweet. And then just to know that there's another one around the corner of a drop is, yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's to come.
Because didn't the 10,000 sell in as many minutes? How did that?
It's like 20 minutes, yeah. Pretty crazy.
It's just
saying.
Collective.
I think the public
hush.
sale was open for about like less than a minute probably until they were all gone.
Just bonkers. So is there anything, as we now venture forwards towards the next step and the dreamers steps, is there anything that we want to wrap up and put on a bow before we dive into because I just wanted to make sure that the first part of this, we got the context, we got the foundation of where we're at, and then we can drive through into the future of Bitlectro Labs. Is there anything else that you would like to add, the three of you?
I don't know.
I mean, right now.
Yeah, I think people are just asking about utility with the Dreamloops coming up, and I think it all kind of ties into what we're doing with the Dreamers as well. So it's like, if people think that Dreamloops is like the old one, that's not the case. And I think that what we're about to do with Dreamers is going to prove that. So
yeah, definitely going to be some interoperability and integrations with the Dreamlands and the Battle Arena that we're proposing to build. Yeah, that's all scoped basically. So we're not abandoning one project. We're just building an ecosystem around that universe basically.
Okay. And then for those like me that are still learning about this world of non-fungible tokens and NFTs, which is the same thing I just said, but the short case version, I realize that now after having said it. That's aggressively loud. That was aggressively loud. Sorry about that, everyone.
It wasn't very loud on mine.
It wasn't very
loud
either.
All right. Well, for me, it was very, very loud. It's going to take a second to process that. Let's just make sure that we when you say these universes, these worlds, is that just words that basically emit to or run down to in a Discord server or on a Twitch live stream, or what do you mean by these arenas and these situations? Is that just a word you're using for where communities are gathering on the internet?
No, we have actual project scope that are extensions of the NFTs. So when I say the Battle Arena or the Dreamland, so we're building sort of a universe around the Dreamloops. So the Dreamers and the Dreamloops, even though Dreamloops looks like a kind of a bespoke pixel art project that's got a lot of attributes and it's very nuanced, but those objects exist in this fictional universe where the Dreamers also exist. And then we're building a sort of game. And I say sort of game because the game is automated, but it allows the users to make some choices and allows their dreamers to essentially battle in turn-based combat that's going to look a lot like a 90s RPG game. And we've shared some previews of what that user experience is going to look like, but it's very much sort of an extension of where NFTs have been moving. And we've seen a lot of projects do this where they build little experiences, or they build mini games, or they build even tokenized ecosystems around their NFTs. So we're sort of moving in that direction basically with this new launch. So the battle arena, like, no, that's an actual product that our community is going to be able to engage with. That being said, there are very clearly defined metaverses that are coming upon the scene that we're hoping to integrate with, or planning to integrate with rather. We have a partnership with a group called the Sandbox. We have a bunch of metaverse real estate there, and some of the things we're doing in one of the existing metaverse spaces, we're porting to this new technology, and then we're going to have all sorts of touch points for our users to utilize the dreamers within that new space, including versions of their avatars that are going to be in voxel format, which is a 3D, it's basically a 3D format, but rather than polygons like most users are used to in modern video games, it uses what are called voxels, which are cubes. Well, voxels are less intensive to process on a computer, so you can utilize them in like a web browser based experience. Think of Minecraft or Roblox or something like that. So that's what the Sandbox is doing. Our artwork happens to work very well for voxelized format, so we're moving all of that into this new metaverse space. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, we use a lot of this nebulous language when talking about communities surrounding NFTs or the metaverses, and it's still so new, and getting everyone to the same level, like even project to project, myself as a collector, when I jump in someone's Discord and I see the language they're using, I'm like, oh, they have some specific jargon to their project, and I need to figure out what that is and figure out what their product stack is and what their offering is, and what are their touch points around this Web 3.0 ecosystem, where it might be metaverse, it might be Discord stuff, it might be DeFi integrations, and a lot of this sounds like an alien language to the layperson, but hopefully it won't be, a year from now, 2 years from now, as the tool sets and the onboarding mechanisms get easier. And we're trying to do that with a lot of our product releases as well. It's a lot of hand holding to get people to a place where they understand how it works. And we think we've made the metaverse parties pretty easy, where literally they go to a domain name that we forward to the metaverse space, and suddenly they have a 3D avatar within their browser and they can experience what we're talking about. So I always tell my friends that are not NFT heads, like, hey, we're DJing this party. It's in your web browser. Turn it on. I know you're not, especially in the midst of the pandemic. I know you're not going to the bar on Friday. Put this on your TV and just watch and listen and type in the chat through your browser. And so we're starting to reduce those barriers. That was a long-winded answer, but
no, and I like those.
Upsell the space. So.
And it's also nice too, because communities don't need to join just in one specific location. Like you mentioned, like is it Discord, or is it Telegram or something like that? It kind of spreads across all of them now. People can be chatting in Discord while they're in a Crypto Voxels metaverse party. They can also be chatting within that Crypto Voxels party in the text chat built into there. So the conversation kind of carries throughout multiple different products and services and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of spreads across, and it's really nice to see as well.
My takeaway from all that is a few things. Number one, I appreciate that I am very much in that infancy of learning about, I think there's a lot of there's concern, or there's unsurety with the unknown. And it's a case of lived experience. You need to dive in. You need a teacher. You need those around you in the community to can expand and explain things. As we gradually learn, we become at ease, and it will take a process of 1 to 5 years. I think that's just me not even having any idea and throwing it out there, because it sounds to me, takeaway point number 2, that Keil must be very happy that those different technologies could overlap and save you about another 333,000 hours worth of work. Point number 3 is that even you, the creators in this world, are still surrounded by the excitement of the new, and so are having to come up to speed yourself. And that's what's going to drive, in my opinion, and propel everything forward. Now, with that, what I love about all these worlds, and why I asked that particular point to try and get the finite detail on it, or see how the sand settles, is that I love the write-up when you go to bitlectrolabs.com/dreamers to see this next step. The world that you've created, it deserves reverb. I'll read the first few sentences like, in the year 2231, on the planet Earth, a rogue quantum AI gained, whatever that fancy word is, for 50 nanoseconds, right? I love the way that it's sentience, that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Sentience! Right, just to make sure I get it right. Keil, is that you? Did you write that?
Yeah, Gabe and I, it was kind of a collaborative thing. It was a little bit more silly before Gabe reined it in, thankfully. But
That's mostly Keil. I just edited a little bit. And it's pretty much Keil's vision there.
I'm a big sci-fi head, so it's just an amalgamation of many sci-fi things that I'm into.
These combatants later become known as the Dreamers. Anyway, I just
It sounded so good. Can we contract you to do?
I was about to say, yeah, voiceover work. I was going to set up my loop pedal and bring it down an octave, but I felt I could pull it off with just way too much reverb,
I'm planning on making a trailer for the game before it comes out, so that would be really good to have a voiceover of that caliber.
I would love to do that. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Hoodies, game trailers, you spoil me. Anyway, so then, yeah, let's dive into this next step of the 2231. Keil, what was your vision when you went, okay, shit, right, this is awesome, good shit, bad, I mean, this is a good shit. I've had to do all this work, it's sold out in a matter of minutes. Now I feel invigorated to do more. What was the sit down plan and to flesh out this next step of characters and really, I mean, a new Earth, a new universe?
Yeah, well, we planned on making characters or avatars for the next one, and it just kind of like slowly, Gabe and I will like sit there and chat on Discord, and we kind of spitball a lot about like, what should be in the collection, what should be the vibe. So it's just kind of been this like growing thing since the last collection got finished. And we're into sci-fi and we're into vintage video games, so it's just this kind of mix of everything we're into. And we're having like our community actually like help us write the lore of the Dreamlands universe. So it's kind of like a crowdsourced thing. We're having a lot of fun with it. And I'm really excited about the way the characters look. I'm actually right now working on the unwrapping environment, which is kind of like a cryostasis chamber where you unfreeze your character, or you can keep them frozen and resell them. But yeah, it's evolving, and with the help of our community as well. And it's weirdly it's sci-fi, but doesn't take itself too seriously. Yeah. Is
there gonna be like a scroll of rules and regulations?
Just a lot of lore, but there'll be a good like description of how the game works. But it's essentially like RPG, classic RPG mechanics, where your character has, buffs, or, you can have like something that helps your character with healing or increases your likelihood of like, a better attack, stuff like that. But we're definitely aping our, the games we played growing up on the, Super Nintendo, Genesis, NES. And the music's going to be all Genesis-based sound chip stuff. So kind of funny sounding stuff. The Genesis music was always very strange, but I enjoy it. That's a nice cat you got there.
Yeah, Theo's interested in purchasing his first non-fungible token.
Beautiful cat.
Yes, I know, Theo, I know, but we just got to do a bit of Bitlectro right now. You sit on the bed, mate.
A little bit of work, mate. There we go.
He's liking that Shure 7B you got there.
Yeah, he loves scratching his chin on the end of it.
It's got good taste in mics.
Yeah. / can you try and not fill the whole thing with air? It cost a bit. So let's just we're gonna strip this back then. Bitlectrolabs.com/dreamers. When you go to that part of the website, to keep things a bit elemental. So 5K airdrop, Dreamloops holders, 10K public sale. In a nutshell, Jason, that means.
So that means that for the airdrop component, that is for people who have 2 Dreamloops, they're going to receive 1 Dreamer as an airdrop to their wallet, right, through a claim link. So it means if you own 2 Dreamloops, you get 1 Dreamer. If you own 4 Dreamloops, you get 2 Dreamers. And then following that, so that'll create a max of 5,000 assets, because there were 10,000 assets of the Dreamloops. Following that, we're going to have a pre-sale and then a public sale of the remaining 10,000 of the Dreamers to create a collection of essentially 15,000 Dreamers.
200 plus traits. Keil?
I think there's even more than
there's
that,
like
Keil, hey?
More than-
like almost 800. Probably will end up being over 800 traits
we
once.
need to update that copy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It's
then
we've been creating a lot of stuff.
because it says the option to keep dreamers in hypersleep. So that's exactly what you just addressed a second ago. I just want to make sure that all the fundamentals of everything is covered. And so when it comes to if you've already got a dream loop, you get right the next step. I have 2 dream loops that you graciously gifted me, which is very, very kind. And I've never opened them. So is that what we want to get to now? Maybe open one of these or not?
This is exciting. This is up to you, John, but I think that if we go through like a live unwrapping right now, this is pretty exciting.
Hello.
He's thinking.
So no, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm just welcoming back my partner, and Harley's back.
No worries.
So yes, I would like to unwrap one of them.
Beautiful.
I feel just because I, growing up, never did that, where I got something super cool and exclusive and just was like, I'm just going to keep it in the cupboard. You know, it was always ripped open really quickly. And because there's so much I don't know about this, I like the fact that as I grow and learn more about this community and where everything is going, I just want to open it and be a bit more prepared. So I think with one of them, let's do one of them. Should I tell? I can't show you guys, but they both have numbers. So do I tell you? What would you like to do? Guide me.
You can tell us our number and we can kind of track it on our screens as well. Like once the metadata refreshes essentially, so we can see what you got, even though we can't see your screen.
Yeah, I'll pull up OpenSea.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm doing the same.
And I'm allowed
So
to say the numbers. No one can, because it's safely in my wallet and access through the website. So no one can suddenly get this if I say it's 9389484. No.
Yeah, and especially and as well, since you're only deciding to open up one and you're going to keep one wrapped, you're still eligible for that airdrop. It's not that they're just the unwrapped dream loops that everyone will receive. The fact that regardless if it's wrapped or unwrapped, you have 2 in your wallet, you will receive a dreamer when the airdrop comes, which is exciting too.
Yeah.
So you can leave the one wrapped and be totally fine.
Okay. Well, should we go left one or right one? Left or right?
Left.
Left.
Left, they're saying. Okay. So just click on it. Wait, no, what I should do first is show everyone, for God's sake. All right, so here we go. You go to bitlectrolabs.com. You can set up your wallet. So here I am in my wallet, which means I'm covering your 3 faces right now. And then we're going to go and open this. So I just click on it. That's it. Right.
Yeah, so it should bring up.
Now
You go, Gabe?
What was that, Gabe?
Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say it should open up the question mark kind of square avatar with a bunch of question marks on the sidewalls of it that say like traits, sound. There should be just question marks below that. Is that correct? And then on the bottom, there should be a couple things that say like view on OpenSea, unwrap token. Is that all?
Yeah, that's everything
Up
on
to
there,
mark.
yeah.
Beautiful. So if you hit unwrap token, it's going to bring you to our 3D unwrapping environment. Looks like a little throwback, old school desk with a Rubik's Cube and old computer and everything like that. And you can slowly unwrap this baby.
All right. It's loading it. It's loading it. Oh, this is very cool. Oh, look at all these purples. Hello.
Very purple. Yes.
So when you hit unwrap the dream loop, it should open up a small transaction fee on your MetaMask wallet.
It did, yeah.
And then you should just, it should be like $10 or something like that. And you can just hit confirm. Nice.
By what was
I
that?
like the music.
Yeah.
By what was that? I gotta hear too.
And then it will loop round, right?
Yep.
So Keil,
metadata to refresh. Go ahead.
Keil, do you remember what time of day it was that you wrote this masterpiece?
I probably wrote that song on tour, I think.
Oh my goodness. What do you want to share about this one?
I mean, there isn't much to say. It's a gem, ruby, and that's like it's like a piece of kryptonite, or it's kind of like, I don't know. It reminded me of the Fortress of Solitude or the Kryptonite when I drew it. It's just, I don't know. I drew a lot of like weird crystals and like gems. I have a lot of like weird crystals and gems lying around my house, so that was the inspiration for a lot of this stuff.
that kryptonite is rare. Like if you actually go through the properties on OpenSea,
It is pretty
of
rare,
that
isn't
one,
it?
And,
0.11% of all the Dreamloops have kryptonite, John. So
It's
John
not-
with a rare trait.
It's not necessarily sought after, but it is rare.
It
Yeah,
is,
it's like
yeah.
like we can't always conflate rareness with desire, right? But
Sure.
it is
It is
scarce.
not commonly, yeah.
Well, this is all incredible to me because it's a world I'm exploring. So, Jason, why don't we run through these then? When it says
Yeah,
background,
yeah.
purple sky, 4% have this trait. Run me through this property.
There are only
Yeah, so-
10 kryptonites. I just wanted to put that out there.
Sweet.
This is exciting. Maybe there's
Yeah.
going to be a new kryptonite gang or something like
Yeah.
that on our
Oh,
Discord. They'll be
crypto.
the one that takes off or something.
Yeah,
You never
yeah,
know.
yeah.
What's really cool is OpenSea kind of cross-references the metadata to essentially explain the rarity of everything. So you can see that the purple sky, 4% of all the Dreamloops of all 10,000 currently have the purple sky background. Gem 1, that's going to be the red gem, followed up, that's 2%, followed up by the kryptonite. You can also see that there's element counts, which percussion beat, if the NFT is redeemable or not, the technical scarcity of it, how it is a common one, and the song title. It really breaks it all down for you to see kind of exactly what is included in that NFT that you just unwrapped.
So cool. I
And
appreciate
I think the
everyone's
kryptonite
patience with that.
is the rarest part. Yeah.
I didn't open it, held on to it for a while, and then I'm glad that we could all do it together and you could explain what on earth it all means to me.
And the best part is, since you have two, John, there's going to be a dreamer coming your way. You're going to have an avatar to go with your Dreamloops.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now I just don't know whether I open the other one or not.
Oh, I hold a couple wrapped. I'll say that.
I've got a few
Yeah.
wrapped still.
I
Me
like
too.
the mystery. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the mystery. I'm gonna keep the mystery, especially with
I
phase
like
2 coming, or phase 328.
Good.
So, Gabe, how do we want to wrap and bow this wonderful catch-up chat up? What have I missed? What would you like to make sure is out there, and what on earth is next?
And I always tell people, just come in our Discord. We're always looking for new community members that get excited about the project and ask us interesting questions or pose unique ideas for future collections. So I'd say just get involved. Not going to shill the project too much, but we'd like to hear from you, what you like about it, what you dislike, where you think we should go, what your favorite songs are. A lot of our users take the songs and use them in their own projects. There's actually a video game that another team is making that uses some of Keil's masterpieces for their level music, which we're pretty excited about. But yeah, and if you want more info, check us out, bitlectrolabs.com. And yeah, that's about it.
Oh, well, now I've got another question because
Sure.
in theory, then once that music now, that's mine now, right? So I
Yeah.
could use that in another project. Is that how
Yeah,
that?
you can. Correct. Yeah, I'll let Keil talk about the licensing, but
Yeah,
you get
you have a Creative Commons license, so yeah, you can use it in whatever you like. You can use it as if you wanted to make it like your theme song, you could do that.
Yeah,
Gives you that.
I've got some comical ideas. I'm going to make some things and send your way. Yeah,
I like it.
I might use some. I get some inspiration from the website and maybe a certain write up about the next world, the universe, the Earth.
Nice.
Something like, Earth. Something like that.
Earth.
Anyway, all right. So reverb just makes it all
More.
better. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you all so much for coming at me again and asking to continue the conversation and learn more about what you're doing. And I'm always down for it. Always, always, always. It's such a delight. So thank you three very much and have a fabulous rest of your day.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated.